What's going on, guys? We are Tottenham TV here, back here with another Tottenham update. Let's get into the topics. Obviously, there's a standoff between Tottenham and Harry Kane at the moment, and it's currently being reported by The Independent that Harry Kane is currently considering an official transfer request to the club in a bid to move away and get his move to Man City. This follows a second day where Harry Kane has missed training, and Sky Sports reporting Harry Kane is planning to return to training this weekend. He doesn't want it to go on and on. He just wants to make a protest, vent his frustration. He believes verbally he was told he'd be allowed to leave Tottenham if the right offer comes in. And this obviously is in the next stage of the saga after Harry Kane yesterday failed to report for duty after missing training. However, there has been a little development from Sami Mokbel of the Daily Mail, who says Harry Kane is to take a 5 test to release test ahead of return to pre-season due to mandatory isolation period following a turn from the Bahamas. He could report back this weekend to take the test so long as he's back in the UK from today. And he issued a clarification on that tweet saying Kane has still failed to report on time for pre-season. This is simply stating that he must quarantine before he can even return because he has been in an amber list country. He can only train after providing a negative test on the 5th day. So I think what Sammy is saying is that yes, Kane can't return to training until he gets a negative test at the end of the week. However, he could have planned he could have pre-planned this so that the test happens earlier rather than arriving. I think he's implying that Kane arrived late on purpose on holiday, and that's why he has to wait until the end of the week. So this Harry Kane situation is getting kind of messy. If he's handed a transfer request, that will definitely be another blow in Tottenham's negotiations, and that could even hurt Daniel Levy and Tottenham even more in terms of getting the right price for Harry Kane. The only good thing about the report is that Harry Kane doesn't want the situation to go on, and he is set to return to training at the end of the week. And Dan Kilpatrick even reporting that Harry Kane believes this whole situation has been blown out of proportion. So there is a slither of hope that Harry Kane still could remain at Tottenham, and he's not going to force a move. But from the majority of the reports, he's going to try very, very hard. If he does hand a transfer request, that would be the latest blow in a line of what has been a very messy saga so far. Tensions are rising between Kane and the board, and it's becoming a big issue, and hopefully can resolve sooner rather than later. I'm getting resigned to the fact that he's going to push for a move, and I kind of feel at this point maybe get as much as you can for him and start that rebuild that we need. But losing a player with the quality of Harry Kane is always going to be a massive risk. But moving on to the next story, this is from Sky Sports News and Lyle Thomas. He says Tottenham are preparing for a breakthrough in the 47 million Christian Romero deal as Atalanta get closer to finding a replacement. And this following reports that Atalanta are currently in talks with Lille to sign Sven Botman from Lille for a fee of £27 million, and which is apparently similar to the fee that they received from Arsenal to get Gabriel. That's what they're looking for. And they're apparently set to sign Demiral from Juventus on a loan deal with an obligation to buy. So they're set to revamp their centre-back options with the Romero money to get Botman and Demiral, which is a very good deal in my eyes from Atalanta. They've done very, very well to get those two through the door in replacement for Romero. But it seems as though Romero is only a matter of time at this stage. There's more reports as well coming from Cesar Luis Morello, who has tweeted out that the deal for Romero to go to Tottenham is imminent, and it's only a matter of time. So at least some positive news coming out of Atalanta, that Spurs are sent to get their man in Romero. This deal is trickling along every single day. It seems to be moving an inch, but as I say, seems to be moving an inch in the right direction. Next story is from Sky Italia, or some other reports in Italy. This first of all, it says there could be interest from Tottenham in Lautaro Martinez given Harry Kane's current situation. However, Tutto Sport have gone on to say that Tottenham and Arsenal do not appeal to Inter Milan for Lautaro Martinez, and the player will likely snub any transfer offer. This is obviously a player who last year was heavily linked with Barcelona. He's had a fantastic season with Inter Milan, winning Serie A and striking up an absolutely formidable partnership with Romero Lukaku, who was incidentally been subject to a £100 million move from Chelsea reportedly. So he could be one. I can't see Inter Milan losing both of them. But for me, if Lautaro Martinez is available and Spurs are able to get him in place of Harry Kane, I can't think of too many replacements who could fit right into the team and not lose too much quality. So I'm hoping this is one, if Kane does leave, we can definitely get over the line. He'll definitely excite me. And given his age, 23 years of age, he's the profile striker he is, who he can play up front. He's got very good hold-up play, and he's got an eye for goal as well. So Lautaro Martinez would definitely be a player I want. But Tutto Sports saying Tottenham doesn't appeal to him definitely makes sense, given that he was definitely being eyed up by a lot bigger fish than Tottenham, and playing in the Europa Conference League for a year probably doesn't suit a player of Martinez's quality. But money talks in this day and age, and maybe that's one we can get over the line. Next story is from Matt Law, and he's talking about two strikers Spurs are interested. He says, as Tottenham are interested in Fiorentina striker Dusan Vlahovic, who they targeted to compete with and play alongside Kane. He also says Spurs are interested in Southampton striker Danny Ings, but his contract demands might be out of their price range. So that has come from the Telegraph from Matt Law. It's interesting to hear that in terms of Vlahovic, because we keep hearing he's targeted to play with Harry Kane, but with Harry Kane kicking up a fuss, maybe Tottenham will look at Vlahovic and Danny Ings, and will have an increased budget to deal with the big money Harry Kane that is coming in for Harry Kane. Vlahovic, only 21 years of age, had a very good season out in Fiorentina last year, scoring over 20 Serie A goals. So he is definitely one I'd be interested in. He's going to be a hefty price for about 50 million. I'm hoping if we do sell Harry Kane, we sign Vlahovic plus another one, because I don't think he's quite there to replace Kane yet. But he's definitely one, if we were to get him through the door to play with Kane, if Kane was to stay, he would be the perfect kind of striker to compete with and play alongside Harry Kane, and he would be the perfect kind of profile of player we need to be getting through the door. So he's one to get excited about. In terms of Danny Ings, at his age, in his injury record, as much as I think he's a good Premier League striker, I think he was one I would probably avoid unless he was signing him as a backup, and we're signing Martinez as well. I wouldn't mind Martinez and Ings. I think that would be two good strikers, but I wouldn't want Danny Ings to be our main striker. So I think if his contract demands are too high, it's good to avoid him. Last but not least, though, Napoli. According to Corriere dello Sport, Napoli have set an asking price of 25 million euros for the winger Lorenzo Insigne, and it has brought interest from Tottenham Hotspur. Obviously, Corriere dello Sport are not the most reliable of sources, but they're claiming that there is an interest from Tottenham in Lorenzo Insigne, and they're willing to go as low as 25 million euros, which would be a fantastic price for a player of Insigne's quality. The only thing I would say is, with Bergwijn in the squad, with Gil in the squad, with Son in the squad, we already have three players who are already natural left wingers, and three players who are very much used to playing in that position. And then I think bringing another one in Insigne would be too much competition for that one wing position. It doesn't quite make sense. I think Insigne will have the potential to be one of the better options in there. I think he's better than Bergwijn and better than Gil at the moment. Probably not as good as Son, but I don't think it would be a wise use of Tottenham's money to be spending 25 million on another left winger, seeing as we already have three of them. So no point adding a fourth unless Bergwijn is leaving for 30 million. Then signing Insigne to replace him does make sense, and that would be a good deal for Tottenham. But if he is available for that money and we can get Bergwijn out the door, that's one I'll definitely be interested in. Maybe one who a surprise inclusion but could improve Tottenham. But that is your Tottenham update for today. We spoke about the state of play of Harry Kane. We spoke about Romero closing in on the deal. We spoke about Tottenham potentially interested in Lautaro Martinez, and we spoke about prospective signings of Vlahovic, Ings, and Insigne. Let me know in the comment section below what you think, what your opinion is on all these topics. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.